Welcome back to Waynesider, where we dive into the heart of wrestling's most gripping stories. Tonight, we're stepping into a tragedy that's left the WWE Universe reeling, a loss so profound it brought a titan to tears. The air is heavy with sorrow, and we're here to unravel the emotional layers of a saga that's as personal as it is devastating. His journey began with a fire that burned brighter than most, a hunger for greatness that propelled him from the shadows to the spotlight. Power defined him, each spear a declaration of dominance, each championship a monument to his will. He became the cornerstone of an era, a name synonymous with unyielding strength. Yet, power comes with a price, one paid in the currency of pressure. The expectation to lead, to carry a family's legacy, weighed on him like an iron crown. Every match, every promo, was a test, not just of skill, but of endurance, of holding up under the gaze of millions who demanded perfection. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. In the quieter moments, silent resentment took root among those closest to him. Kin who shared his blood, who stood in his corner, began to feel the sting of his shadow. Backstage glances carried unspoken questions, their own dreams dimmed by the brilliance of his reign, sowing seeds of discord in sacred bonds. This emotional history traces back to a family whose name is etched in wrestling's soul. Their legacy, a tapestry of triumphs and trials, bound them together, but also burdened them. The pressure to honor that heritage, to outshine the past while forging the future, turned pride into a complex web of obligation. Away from the arena's roar, those tensions simmered in fleeting exchanges, clipped words in the locker room, a handshake that lingered too long. His power, once a rallying cry, began to feel like a barrier, separating him from those who should have been his strength. The family's unity started to fray, thread by thread. He stood as a colossus, his presence reshaping the WWE landscape, each victory adding to his mythos. But the pressure was relentless, a constant undercurrent eroding his resolve. Fans saw the chief, the warrior, but those closest saw the man, carrying a legacy that threatened to crush him. Silent resentment grew in the hearts of those who felt sidelined, their own aspirations eclipsed by his glory. It was a quiet pain, born of love twisted by circumstance, admiration tainted by envy. They stood by him, but each cheer for his name carried a subtle ache, a reminder of their own unfulfilled dreams. The emotional history of this saga is one of power's paradox, lifting him to heights while isolating him in plain sight. The pressure to be infallible, to be the family's beacon, wore at his edges, even as he stood tall. The legacy, a source of pride, became a crucible, testing bonds that once seemed unbreakable. In the locker room's dim light, camaraderie masked the growing divides, but the undercurrents told a different story. Veterans exchanged knowing nods, while younger stars watched, learning the cost of greatness. His power drew awe, but also envy, a silent force that hummed beneath every interaction. As the pressure mounted, so did the silent resentments, coiling tighter with every sold-out show. He pushed forward, the embodiment of resilience, but the emotional toll was palpable. The family's bond, once a fortress, began to show cracks, strained by unspoken grievances and unshared burdens. This story was always building toward a breaking point, the emotional history a prelude to a moment that would shatter everything. Power had made him a king, but pressure had worn him thin, and silent resentment had armed those closest with motives they scarcely dared to voice. Then, in a heart-stopping moment, the attack came, a brutal betrayal that tore through the WWE's core. Halfway through this tale, the truth erupted, not from a rival, but from within the family's own ranks. A vicious strike, fueled by years of buried resentment, left him crumpled, the ring a canvas of shock and pain. The arena fell silent, fans clutching their hearts as the betrayal unfolded in agonizing clarity. Power, his shield for so long, offered no protection against this treachery. The pressure he'd carried became a flood, and the tears that streamed down his face were as real as the blood on the mat. Backstage, the locker room dissolved into chaos, wrestlers gathering in stunned disbelief, some openly weeping. Real whispers spread like wildfire, tales of ignored warnings, of tensions that simmered too long, now exploded in a moment of unthinkable cruelty. The emotional aftermath was a storm, relentless and raw. This tragic loss wasn't just a moment, it was the unraveling of a dynasty. The family's WWE legacy, built on decades of sacrifice, now bears a scar that may never heal. The attack severed more than trust, it fractured a lineage, leaving its future uncertain and its past tainted. In the days that followed, the locker room remained cloaked in grief, tears shed in private as wrestlers grappled with the fallout. Real backstage whispers spoke of regret, of moments where reconciliation could have changed the course but didn't. The pressure to move forward clashed with the need to mourn, a tension that gripped all. For the family's legacy, this loss is a seismic shift, redefining rivalries and reshaping alliances. The power he held, once a unifying force, now feels hollow, the throne shadowed by betrayal. The family's name, a pillar of wrestling, now carries the weight of this fracture, its glory dimmed. Fans are in mourning, their heartbreak flooding social media with tributes and tears. The image of his tears, captured in haunting slow motion, feels like a wound to the WWE Universe's soul. This wasn't just a storyline, it was a shattering of something sacred, a loss that resonates deeply. The emotional aftermath reveals a truth: betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from those you call family. Silent resentments, once whispers, have left a permanent mark, a reminder that even the strongest bonds can break under pressure. The legacy endures, but it's forever changed, etched with pain. In the quiet after the storm, the locker room reflects on loyalty and loss, each member carrying the weight of what happened. Real whispers hint at deeper rifts, of chances for unity lost to pride and ambition. The tears shed are for more than one man, they're for a dream that feels broken. As we unravel this tragedy, the family's WWE legacy stands at a crossroads. Power, once a beacon, now feels tainted, and the pressure to rebuild is daunting. The attack has rewritten the narrative, turning brothers into adversaries, pride into pain, leaving a void where unity once stood. In this heartfelt reflection, we see betrayal as the true villain, eroding trust in a world built on it. Broken bonds, once the backbone of this family, now lie scattered, wounds too fresh to heal. Blood, spilled in the ring and in spirit, tells a story of loyalty tested and found wanting. The WWE Universe mourns together, a collective farewell to what was and what might have been. His tears are a testament to the human heart at wrestling's core, where power and pressure collide with devastating consequences. The legacy endures, but it carries the weight of this heartbreak. Thank you for joining us on Wainsider, where we honor the stories that make wrestling more than a sport. It's a saga of blood, sweat, and tears. Until next time, hold tight to those you trust, for in this world, the line between family and foe can blur in an instant.